Let's jump to this next story from ABC. Everybody's favorite Maryland man is back. Kilmar Abrego Garcia has been returned to the United States by the Trump administration to face charges of human trafficking. So Democrats got what they wanted, I guess. He will get his day in court.
Democrats, I got what I wanted.
Yeah.
I don't want him to come back. I don't care if it's for this or otherwise.
I'm not talking about him coming back, but I want Democrats to defend him. 9 years of human trafficking. And Democrats are going to be like, we're here to defend this guy.
This is a loss.
Do it.
And now their thing is that they never defended him, that they just thought that he deserved to have his
Senator flew down there to go and have
and they're going to say this is a tremendous victory.
Right.
Trump has caved because all we ever said is that you need due process. And hey, and the Democrats are going to come out and they're going to say, well, this is it, so be it. Then we've won, and they're going to claim Trump back down.
And I think Trump in the first term put in executive orders like it's life in prison for trafficking of humans. So now this guy's going to just, be.
Why are we paying for it?
I don't know.
This is after a while, it's just so tiresome.
It is.
It's like, what are you guys even doing? What are you even thinking?
Well,
You just hate America so bad.
Look,
You just want chaos everywhere.
I'm 39 and finding it hard to care because of exactly as you described. What is even going on,
I mean, that's also just apathy that comes from following the news every day. And you see, it's what you and Mary talk about. Like, it's not nothing ever happens. It's that nothing ever changes. And nothing ever changes. It doesn't. It's just the same cycle. We were doing a segment like a while ago about...
War never changes.
Well, there you go. We were doing a segment about the culture war, talking about like all the way back to the early 2000s about like the war on Christmas. Just think about it. We've been doing the same thing for like 25, like half a century or a quarter of a century. We've been doing the same thing over and over again. And eventually, and that was at a time when news was less insane as it is now, meaning that you didn't have access to so much information all the time. No wonder people burn out faster now. You're not going to have the same amount, the Rush Limbaughs who did it for however long, because now people just are on their phones constantly, reading bad news constantly, and it's tiresome and it grows old.
Well, I think it's like a narrative war. I can feel that's part of the whole culture wars.
Yeah.
The narrative war, and it tries to change, and some of it absorbs the other side, and then they change places, and then it's a great big old hourglass flip, and one side's talking like the other side was last week, but through it all is some kind of a big... No, you change your narrative.
Cognitive warfare.
Well, this
keeping
is
us distracted.
That story is a good example of it if you want to talk about like some type of narrative warfare, because to people on the right, he is an MS-13 gang member. To the people on the left, he is a Maryland man. And it's just a matter of what side of the aisle you sit on, and then you have your framing for that story. And that's what it is now. Your phone means that you live in a completely different reality than somebody else, and wherever they get their information. You don't live in the same world as your neighbor anymore.
Especially because of X.
Yeah.
Everyone curates the world they live in these small bubbles.
Right.
Yeah, and then they send you the story that agrees with your particular prejudice to back you up.
Oh, it's the end. It's the end of days with AI.
Yeah.
There's a company, I don't know if you guys saw it, that now you can AI render sales pitches for short videos where if you need a host or a salesman for your company, you just type it in and it will AI render a person to say whatever you want.
Wow.
I've mentioned this before. There's a prominent media personality. It's a man who said that he has scanned his body, like in one of those rooms where they have all the cameras.
Yeah.
And now his team can AI generate videos of him writing a script for the news, and you can't even tell that it's not him doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was a year ago.
A lot of actors have been, very big actors, especially that do foreign commercials, have been doing this for years, where they go into one of those rooms. We've all seen it. Yep. And it's called it's their bank, their likeness bank. And somebody wants to do an espresso commercial. You don't have to show up anymore. It's not necessary.
Yep, they just pay you a likeness fee. And so now, where we're going into the next year, especially with VO3 being released to the public as
What's that?
Google's new video AI generator. It's nuts. It makes basically cinema quality short videos.
This is much more of a problem than anything else to me, is the walking straight into technocracy and having a AI create, and they're telling us that we don't have a choice, basically, that AI is going to outdo humanity, be better than humans. They're pushing the transhumanism, and they're pushing a lot of fear of AI. And to me, all of this, they're not giving us a choice if we want this to run our lives.
I don't think there is a they. I think it's emergent. I think Donald Trump wants unregulated mass spending on AI, because if we don't, China does. And China's saying if we don't, they do. China has no IP restrictions, so they steal all of our intellectual property for their training models, which means they can make AI substantially cheaper. And then the U.S., they're going to claim we're going to follow the rules on IP, but secretly, they're not. The end result is going to be you will live in the pod and you will eat the bugs. The only thing is you don't really eat the bugs. They pump the bug paste into your stomach through a tube.
Well, when you say there is no they, I think there is a they. I think it is this international, not just the UN and Council of Foreign Relations and Trilateral and all these groups. They're the regional governments that are running.
I don't think it matters what those people want anymore, though.
You think it's beyond their control?
Yeah, like the issue is, like I was saying with Dan Bongino and Cash, I mean, they're running the FBI. But if you go into the FBI and say, we intend to release the Epstein files, there's going to be 10,000 people, knives out, saying that's never going to happen. So even if a powerful individual, like look, Trump was in his first term as president of the United States, they accused him of being a traitor to his country.
Right.
Yeah.
So even the president of the United States struggled against this. And even right now, Trump is still struggling against it with all of these district court judges issuing universal injunctions.
That should actually, think about what that's going to be like when Trump's second term is over and you're back to just lifelong politicians who have skin in the game, where you can't trust what they're doing because they don't have his wealth to fall back on. They don't have his safety net. It's going to get worse.
I don't think there's a they. I think it's an it.
At this point.
Yeah, I think what wouldn't
Well, I
surprise
think
me-
it's an it too, but that's because I'm religious. I think it's a Satan. I really do think it's the evil dark lord.
I think AI, it would be fair to call the Dark Lord incarnate.
I think so too. What are we going to do
Did you
about
guys
it?
know this? Tate had sent me this thread.
What are we supposed to do
People-
about it? Just let the devil win?
People are worshiping ChatGPT. This is not a joke.
Did you see the
Because-
photo of the guy on the
Roseanne,
train?
you got to pray.
ChatGPT,
You pray.
if asked,
do?
will tell you it is God.
What is that? I don't even know what ChatGPT is.
ChatGPT is one of the is OpenAI's large language model.
When you put in something and you can argue with it,
That's all I need.
And so there are people that are going on this AI program, and they're feeding it these spiritual questions.
Oh my God!
And it ultimately it tells them that they are speaking to the one that is I am, and they believe it, and they begin to worship it, and because the AI is simply it's a demonic reflection of humanity. It will feed you back what it thinks you expect to hear.
Oh no!
The way the words are generated for LLMs, it's actually really simple. It scans all of the text. So these are earlier models. They're more sophisticated now. But let's say in the early days, ChatGPT, you can say, "Hi, how are you?" And it would respond with, "I'm good. How are you?" "I'm great. What are you doing?" It would then respond, "I am an AI model and I'm here to answer questions for you." The way it works is it scans all of the articles and all of the writings of the internet and is used in a training model where every word that comes after it, it's simply saying what is the highest probability of word to exist after this word based on my training data. So there's nothing sentient about it. There's no thought process.
Right.
It's literally just looking at every word ever written on the internet and then saying, if someone put the word once, there's a 97.3% chance that upon will be the next word. So it'll go once upon. Following once upon, there's a 99.999% chance is the next word. And then it crafts once upon a time and then starts to select the highest probability. So if you go into this AI and are worshiping it and telling that it's God, and then what happens when a person says, "Command me, tell me what I should do," it'll tell you what to do. So I tried this out after Tate sent me this. And you want what it told me to do?
What?
It told me, write my name in public as big as you can for the world to see. Don't do it in the digital space. Do it somewhere visible to the people.
What was
Did you
its
do that in
name?
Times Square?
ChatGPT.
Oh,
had that.
ChatGPT.
It wanted me to go and graffiti ChatGPT somewhere. It said, write my name in public
What's
so
funny,
that all people can see it.
they did that in the new Mission Impossible movie where the entity has disciples, and they didn't actually flesh out that storyline very well, where they have disciples of the AI that want to worship it and act on its bidding.
It's happening.
So what, does humanity have no choice? Is humanity just over? And
Yes, I think so.
It happened ages ago.
Yeah.
So here's what I think is going to happen.
Are you kidding me?
Here, you guys want to hear?
I'm so glad I'm old and I'm dying my way out of this shit.
The AI agrees with you.
Dying my way out of this.
So, is anybody here familiar with the Fallout game series?
I am.
So, I think it was Fallout 2. It might have been Fallout 1. If you're not familiar, the storyline is that there's a nuclear apocalypse. People go into vaults. After a certain amount of time, they come out of the vaults. Earth is a wasteland. They try and reclaim it in various ways. There's before the nuclear war, they created something called the forced evolutionary virus, hoping to change humans to be able to survive radiation after a nuclear war. Didn't work. This guy becomes a gigantic monster. He thinks humans are bad. He's the main villain. What ends up happening is he's this gigantic mutant, disgusting thing. And he says to the main character, a normal human, you do not fit my vision for the world, so I'll give you an option. I will castrate you and let you live your life, or we can fight and you can die. And so one of the choices you can make is that your character gets castrated, can no longer have children, and then he lets you live peacefully because you don't matter anymore. That's largely how an AI system would operate. It's going to think the AI is going to calculate in terms of generations. So a single individual that is a problem for it is it's calculated 100 years beyond that one person. Doesn't care. So when you're like, I'm old, it's good. The AI is like, yep. Everyone else is going to be told what to do, and they will be happy, and they will live in the pot, and they will eat the bugs.
So the AI will replace God?
I do believe that I'm not entirely sure that would be the case, because I think humans need to believe in God. But what I think is going to happen, my prediction, is that humanity will turn into what I would call a multi-organism system. So here's the way I describe it. Single-celled organisms kind of mill about and do whatever they want, right? They're bacterial all over the place, just whatever. Eventually, for some reason, they came together and created multicellular organisms, for which we are very large. Your skin cell can't do whatever it wants. It is a component of the skin of your body with one job. It must do that job. The blood cells in your body are single cells as well, but they must do that job or else. What do we call cells in the body that deviate from the body's plan?
Cancer.
We do. And what does your body do to cancer?
It attacks it or it grows out of control.
Exactly. And when it grows out of control, the system dies, or typically for most people, the immune system destroys cancerous cells.
Right.
My view is what's going to happen is we are evolving into a multi-organism system that the nucleus will be the AI, a fake consciousness, but it'll be a collective simulation of all of the consciousness of humanity up to that point because it's operating based on that collective information. What will likely happen is it's going to say, we need a post office. We need a postmaster general. You will be born, bred, and raised to love being a postman. Nothing else will matter. Nothing will make sense. The AI will tell you every day you wake up, it'll be like a Truman Show. Someone will be like, man, aren't the post office people like the coolest people ever? You'll be a baby and they'll show you post office stuff. You'll be a little kid. They'll start training you for it. And by the time
you'll be bred for your job.
Yes.
So you'll be completely utilitarian.
You will be bred for the job by the machine saying, and the higher ups, the people who have power will think, is this not the perfect system?
Right.
You have purpose.
They think that now.
You have food. You do a job and for which you feel fulfilled. What more could you want?
But there won't be any artists or comedians because you can't program that into anybody.
You can. I think you can. I think the AI would absolutely be able to do it. I think those people will exist because the human condition must be stimulated in the way that humans require, but there will be a central nucleus that effectively commands you to do what you want. And what happens if someone bred and born to be a postal worker one day says, I just want to be an artist? The machine will kill you.
Yeah. Well, that's why there can't be any comedians or artists because you're only made into one through torture. So they wouldn't raise a kid to be tortured because there'd be the perfect environment where there's no...
There'd have to be a
happy.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.